Home Inspection Carolina. Preston Sandlin's in the house, as well as Mike Palmer and Carlos from Mike Palmer Homes up in Lincoln County. And I've got a caller, so let's do it. Good morning, Mike. How are you? I'm great. How could we help?
It goes by the square footage of the house. Usually starts out about $325 for 1,500 square feet or less, and then it goes up $25 every 500 square foot increment. Now that's our company, but a lot of companies have some sort of comparable system. It's included. It's part of it. Yeah, it's included.
In other words, you don't do partial inspection. I'm gonna elaborate on his question.
Oh, okay, sure.
What all do you inspect? No, I'm not. Hey. I got it. What kind of inspections y'all do?
Well, I mean, there's basically 4 systems on a house, right? There's 3 mechanical systems, and the structural system being the 4th. So, we inspect all those systems, from the footings up to the rafters. I mean, pretty much. Now there are limitations. Obviously, we can't, tear out walls or anything like that. We do have infrared, which we talked about a little bit before. It can't see through walls, but it can detect temperature differentials to let you know that there's something going on. So to a degree, we can see if there's something a little weird going on behind a wall, but we can't see behind walls. But anyway, from the structure all the way bottom to top, and your 3 mechanical systems: plumbing, electrical, and HVAC system. We check those out.
You had a question on infrared earlier, Mike, didn't you?
Yeah, with infrared, from my understanding, for when they instituted all the new Obama codes, energy codes, that your biggest heat loss was in your switch, your electrical boxes on the outside walls.
Right.
And your bottom plate.
Right.
I just wanted to see if that's what you're finding.
Yeah, we do, and that's a great point there. So, okay, so let me back up. The way infrared works is it gives you a visual by color of all the temperatures that you're looking at within its spectrum, if everything's right. So what you're looking at, it gives you the appearance you can see through the wall, but you can't. But you'll see, like if you're on an outside perimeter wall, you'll see where the studs are because the temperature is slightly different there. And then when you get around an outlet, you can see because there's no insulation. In the old days, they just pushed the insulation over and put that outlet box, so there's like a triangle gap on both sides.
Yeah.
So areas like that, you can find that because you see that cold spot or that hot spot depending on the temperature. And that, a lot of times people will get condensation, they'll get a stain around that, and they're like, "What's going on? We have a leak there or anything?" And what it is, it's a cold spot, and that moisture is attracted to that. But yeah. What you're looking for with infrared is an anomaly that shouldn't be there. And then, a lot of times missing insulation, moisture, could be termites, something like that.
Infrared is to me an unbelievable tool.
Oh yeah, and it's gotten a lot cheaper too. I mean, it was like computers when it first came out. I mean, first infrared was like $20,000-$30,000. Now you can get a pretty decent infrared gun for right around $1,000 or just under. Where a couple of years ago that same machine, that same power would have been $20 grand.
Well, part of the new installation codes, what we're required to do is put a bead of foam up, top of the sheetrock, and at the bottom of the wall plate, right where the wall meets the floor.
Okay, so where you're losing energy
and
there.
we foam behind the boxes. I was an insulator back in the old days. You could never, no matter how hard you tried, you could never get it back there properly.
Yeah, Mike's big on that. He actually makes us go out there and foam.
Well, and that's something I wanted
as a builder.
I wanted to talk to you about as a builder. We talk about the infrared and the tie-in here. Well, one of the largest, I was asked a question on a podcast the other day about what's one of the largest concerns in homes today. In other words, what do you hear more about? Well, I hear more about moisture concerns than anything. Overall, it's moisture concerns and the ramifications or the manifestations of what they cause. But talking to people, and you too, you're getting into, one of the topics we're going to cover on the show today is carbon monoxide. Back when we built homes, Mike, you go way back. You're 50, how old?
55.
55, and you've been doing this been in construction now for, shoot, a long time.
Yeah, first 38 years. First.
Yeah, and I'm pushing, going on 50. And, you know, because I got just a few years on you, but I don't know near what you know in the new building. There's Carlos here. Carlos is more familiar with the new building age versus the old.
Right.
And I think the old was somewhere around the 90s, everything really started to change in the way we were constructing homes, right?
Mm-hmm.
We started going, you know, making them tighter and tighter. And today they're, and that's, I'm glad to hear you said we foam up here and foam here. What have you seen, Mike, from the way we built in the 90s versus what we're doing today?
Oh goodness, I can go on. Well,
I mean, it's big.
well, yeah. It's, in the insulation, I remember putting R11 in houses in New Jersey when I was a teenager.
Sure.
You know, working and it was all about speed. They want us to go out there slamming.
Energy wasn't a
Yeah.
big deal.
Energy was not a big deal. Now it's a much bigger deal. I mean, I was wondering with Preston, with the newer homes, are you finding, when you're doing your infrared scans, are you finding more energy efficiency?
Yeah, for the most part. You know, every once in a while we'll find some gaps in the insulation like that. A lot of times behind a sink or something like that, you know, they push that insulation. And that might not have been the insulation guy, that might have been the plumber that
Yeah.
did that. But, you know, just took that piece out or something like that. And, you know, with an older home, sometimes that insulation will settle or something like that. But to answer your question, yeah, it's a lot tighter than it used to be.
Yeah, but now, I mean, now every house has to have a vapor barrier. You're tied back to the
Yeah.
house.
Oh,
right?
sure.
You have that. They've got the membranes under the roofs are a lot better nowadays.
Sure.
Uh,
Well, the point is, we're making Yeti coolers or trying to establish a Yeti cooler as a house.
yeah.
It's airtight. And when it's airtight, here's the issue.
I know where you're going.
Here's the issue.
I'm good.
Air quality, environmental issues. That is, I had John and Linda Eicher from Environmental Services Group on the show here, and I listen, you know, and I'm really curious, and I did some research this week on this note. The number one issue we're going to be confronting, and already are in a very big way, are our environments and what we've created. And what we've created is a very, very tight house, which is not a bad thing. However, you know, we must be totally aware that we've got to deal with that tight air, that, you know, lack of circulation, or all the manifestation of your air, your environment. We got to take a break.
Okay.
Preston's dying to say something, and I want him to. It's just I couldn't let him because we're up against the clock, and we've got to call it. But we'll be back with what Preston's got to say about these new tight houses we're doing. It's great from an energy perspective, okay? But how's your health? We'll be back.
No, it's that. Even when we were talking about it, I was gonna say that. It's just got to be an overall plan.
Now, who is this?
The
Jerry
problem is when they do
Eisenhower.
it hodgepodge.
Oh, it's Jerry.
Jerry.
And if they
Eisenhower.
eventually,
I
like you
haven't
said,
talked to
the air
Jerry.
gets trapped.
Yeah.
So I know what's
I
coming.
was going to talk about an example. I know you didn't want us to talk too much off the air, but
I
the
just want you to see
spontaneity
it's very
loses.
comical. This is
Oh,
how
They
the
did a house
saga
in Raleigh,
continues.
put everything you can imagine, and every day we were getting like puddles in the hallway.
I
It
know.
was so
Oh, I know.
tight.
I just realized we were saying that
Like just puddles of moisture.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure that out. They made the house too tight.
Yeah.
You know, getting rye.
We'll leave it.
Condensation.
You've got to have an airflow exchange of some type. And then I've seen them so tight that they have mechanical.
Remember,
And I'm like, well, wait a minute.
the truth
Doesn't that,
shall and will
we're
set you
trying to be
free.
more energy efficient, but we're
But you
depending
might not
on
like it.
something mechanical to
shit.
exchange the air.
Yeah. So
Do
they
you
got
need
some
a
fresh air
drink?
in.
Some more
Yeah.
water?
Yeah,
I can
that's
fill that
something
up for
I
you
kinda
if you
wanna-
want.
No, that's not mine.
Making it too
Okay.
tight.
I'm more of a coffee person.
I have hot
Just water
coffee.
is fine. Making
Okay, do you want some
house
coffee or
energy
water?
I love
He's
some
laughing
coffee.
at it.
Hot
It's not
coffee?
funny.
Do you want it's
Yeah,
fake
I don't like that.
cream and
Because, like,
sugar?
if
Do you want it or
tell
black?
me your name.
Black.
I
Okay,
don't
you got
trust
it.
you.
I knew that.
You got it.
You can dump it right in the old coffee. That's
Yeah.
fine.
You got it.
Can I get a
That's
coffee?
why I'm like, dude, I'm
Coffee,
just gonna
cream
start
and
hanging
sugar?
out
No,
there.
no.
Just
Like,
so-
I'm not playing
Um,
this game.
I did take care of these people.
This year,
Thank you, Walter.
moisture issues
Thank you.
in crawl space, we've had a lot of that. That seems to be, you know, with the HVAC system.
Let me think of the
Plus the
next.
condensation,
Yeah.
pulling like a magnet, almost pulling.
And you
Yeah,
know,
just in crawl spaces, the moisture, the ventilation, and you know some of the things we've done with it.
Do y'all do sealed crawl spaces?
We do some sealed, yep.
If a single crawl space is done right,
Exactly.
it works.
If
But if it's done
right
half-ass,
in-
it's
in-
worse. It's worse
in
than
the
it would
plan,
be.
in the plan.
Right. But if
You
it's
know.
done half-ass, it's actually worse
Yeah.
because the moisture's still coming in and it's harder for it to get out.
Well, I want to talk about this because this is a great, and I mean this, guys. This is the first time that, we've got a home inspector, and I know his background with you as a builder, and now that I know your background, this is some good stuff. Because, we've all seen a big change. And the homeowners out there don't know anything. They're completely, and Carlos, by the way,
Yes, sir.
I want you to chime in, and look, I know y'all think that I gotta talk. We just gotta have conversation.
Yes, yes.